Good morning.
I love it. Great energy. Great start to the Monday morning.
I stayed in Lauderdale last night and actually walked Las Olas after a tremendous day in the gym yesterday. And so I'm fired up. My mind is clear. Energy is focused. Where energy flows, all that kind of stuff, man.
Attention goes. How does it go? It's awesome. It's great. Yeah. We unfortunately, it is the start of August, which in our world means the end of summer because Kai's trip ended. So yesterday we took him back to his mom, but it was a fantastic 2 months. And it's interesting because you should enjoy the quiet, right? You should enjoy the slowdown of the pace and having more time to focus and do, but every time you recognize the quiet, you remember that he's not here. So it's an interesting conundrum.
Well, from a selfish standpoint, I got to spend a lot of time with him on Saturday. Shay, show me the time I got to spend with my grandson. It was unbelievable. We had so much fun, pool and all kinds of amazing conversation with him. He's very, very bright and energetic, and it was just an amazing day. And you know what? You learn to take what you have, not what you don't have. There's a lesson there.
1,000%. And it's not about the quantity of time. It really is about the quality of time. And we pack it really full when he's here. So it's really great. And I want to give a shout out to Debbie Hammer because she posted something about doing a test rest with City Furniture. And it's just really cool to see two organizations that we work with, guys tagging each other, posting about, being involved with each other's businesses and the experience she had doing that because City Furniture was celebrating their 50th anniversary this past weekend. So they had a ton of crazy sales going on. So awesome stuff and great job, Debbie. That was a fantastic post.
Way to go. The relationship between, City is just a giver, man. They were unbelievable corporate citizen, involved in the Heart Walk, involved in data, just giving back as a philosophy. Shout out to Greg Goldstein, who sent me a note. Last week we talked a lot about control the controllables, and I know it's difficult to see, but this was the email he sent. The picture is walking into the Dolphins' new facility, right on the wall, on the glass right there is control the controllables. So again, validating that messages are everywhere. They're on signs, billboards, TV, radio, listen to music, and all of a sudden words make sense. So shout out to you. Great job.
And Brian Flores, shout out to Brian Flores for putting that on the building. But I think the important part of that is something that I used to talk about with my players at the start of every meeting was, especially dealing with young kids, they bombed the test at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then they got in a fight with their girlfriend at lunch. And now they're walking into a meeting at 2 o'clock where I need their full attention. I need their full focus. And it's not about just being there. It's about being focused and attentive. And I would tell them, controlling the controllables means in the next 2 hours where we go through meetings and we go through practice, you can't do anything about that test or about your girlfriend. So controlling the controllables means turning your focus and being fully present where you are right now to maximize the value of these moments, which for those of you who are going, and same for me, I could walk into this feeling like, oh, poor me, or I miss Kai, or dealing with all the other bullshit. It doesn't matter. We're here for 20 minutes to deliver a show and talk about things that matter. Be where your feet are. That's controlling the controllables.
Love it, love it, love it. So there's a lesson for August, and August is back to school. Shay, do we have the ticker running so we can show sort of what we're talking about today?
I throw it on after the wake up music.
Okay, we got cool content. We're going to talk about facts about August. August is back to school time, so we're going to go back to basics. But one more just crystal clear lesson. Marcel Jacobs of Italy won the 100-meter dash in the Olympics. He was actually born in Texas. Played for the Italian team, was the most unexpected guy to win. He came in finishing 9.80 seconds, which is basically the Flash. But I can tell you this, If he didn't think it was possible, it never would have happened. So control the controllables and think about what's possible. Let's get it on with some music. Good morning, Nathan.
Help, yeah. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Did you know me? Maybe then now listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in there. No more back to thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
So many lessons coming out of the Olympics. I'm actually watching a little bit more of it as it winds down. A couple more shout outs. Friday afternoon, got to spend quality time with Andrea and her husband, Kenny. Shout out to you guys. What a pleasurable time. Great getting to know you better. And, the quality of the business world is the relationships that you extend into your personal life. And
I got a couple shout outs as well. I want to give a shout out to Nathan. Him and I have a virtual coffee this afternoon, which I'm looking forward to that. And I want to give a shout out to Carlton Williams, who I don't know if he is here live with us every morning.
I know Carlton.
But Carlton came into my world through LinkedIn. We had a back and forth, and he talked about how much he enjoys the daily huddle every morning. So whether you're here live or you're listening on the playback, we appreciate you being a part of the audience. And I'm looking forward to our virtual coffee as well.
So let's move into, it's August 2nd. Man, this year is just flipping by. But there are some facts about August. Shay, show me August. Thank you. Believe it or not, the original name of the month was Sextilis. And it wasn't changed until 8 BC. So can you imagine having a forecasting meeting and saying, okay, welcome to Sextilis.
How are we doing in Sextilis?
Sextilis is a long month.
I love it.
So it's just some crazy shit. So there are birthstones associated with August that you may not know. Peridot, Sardonyx, and Spinal are the birthstones. I don't know if you follow birthstones. August was the only month in 2015 to begin on a Saturday. Talk about facts that mean absolutely nothing. It wasn't even worth printing that. On August 21st, 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen. Oh, wow. Cool. So there are some people who, famous people born in the month, will probably come up, as the month goes on. Martha Stewart is an August baby. Martin Sheen, pretty cool. He's one of my favorite actors. What's your favorite Martin Sheen role?
Ooh, so I only think of him in tandem with Steve Martin so Martin Sheen's favorite role is the Vietnam movie where he plays the general. Yes, Apocalypse Now. Nice. Apocalypse Now. Hands down, my favorite role of his. But in a TV show, he was on West Wing, and I love that.
West Wing. So West Wing is my favorite. Love West Wing. You were thinking of Martin Short, though.
Martin Short, correct. Well, so I saw him on TV last night, and so I saw him on a TV show, and I was like, God, I hadn't seen Martin Short in so long. And then I started rolling through all the roles that he was in, which is another great actor.
Pretty amazing. As Christy says, it's all Team Leo. Welcome back, Christy. Your pictures from your vacation looked unbelievable. Can't wait to hear all about it tomorrow.
Same. But for me, August has always and will always fully mark the end of summer, even though it's not actually the end of the season itself. For me, whether it was we were going back to school or during my entire athletic career, August meant back to camp, back to work, like time to turn your full focus back to the job at hand to finish the rest of the year. And it was the start, right? It was really, for us in football season, you had to now, okay, we did all of the conditioning. We did all of the things to prepare ourselves for this time. Now it's time to really go attack the mission. So anytime we get to August, I always feel that way, that it's like all right, time to really dial in, time to get rid of all of the, fun vacation stuff. That shit's over with now. Time to go and really dive deep.
A couple of other people were born in August, and then we'll move on to one of the coolest things about August. But Barack Obama turned 60 this month. Usain Bolt, who was clearly missed in the Olympics.
Do you think, so hold on, so Barack Obama turned 60. Do you think he can do a 42-inch box jump?
My gut tells me he's still smoking cigarettes. No.
He can hit a corner jumper though.
He can hoop. That was my thing. Like, he can hoop.
Right.
I don't know if he can hop, but he can hoop.
So two other shout outs for August birthdays who are people who are no longer here. Whitney Houston was born in August, and I was with Jake the other day, and we were saying, man, she just was the greatest, maybe the greatest voice ever. And then finally, Sean Connery, and I'll ask you the same question, favorite Sean Connery show?
So hard because there were so many really great ones, but I think my favorite was him as a co-star in Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade.
Wow, very cool. For me,
Indiana Jones' dad. Like, come on.
For me, hands down, The Untouchables.
007.
No, Untouchables.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
When he died in The Untouchables, I was very, very upset. But the most important thing that happened in August, in 1762, the sandwich, as we know it, was created when the Earl of Sandwich requested meat between two pieces of bread. When I say sandwich, what comes to mind to you?
It's hard not to think about a chicken salad sandwich because of what we ate this weekend. Shout out to Pomperdale's on Commercial, great deli. But pastrami on rye, like classic deli sandwich. It's enough salt to like put you down for 7 days. Yeah, but it's a great sandwich.
New York, that was unbelievable. Shout out to Sarge's. So there was a study done where the top sandwiches were ranked. Shay, show me that. So let's leave this up there for a second and sort of unpack it. Grilled cheese, 79% of the people who were asked to vote put that as number one. Going down the list, I'm starved, man. There isn't one sandwich on there that I wouldn't crush.
Here's what I'm going to say is I don't consider the grilled chicken sandwich an actual sandwich. That to me moves into the burger category. You're just subbing the burger for a chicken, a chicken breast. So I don't think it should be included. Like, to me, I think sandwich, I want like deli sandwich shop, true, like give me a hoagie roll. So it's, I don't, it's like grilled chicken sandwich. Is that really a sandwich? I don't know about that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So everybody has their favorite sandwich, something that they make that's different. There's Eddie.
Yeah, Dykes. Eddie Dykes pastrami on rye, of course.
Yeah, show me a bang on that, man.
Pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good!
So doing some research on sandwiches, every city has a famous sandwich. And this was a real learning for me. So I put together a list of the sandwiches, and they were ranked 1 to 10. Shay, show me all of these, and I will go through and tell you. Baltimore has pit beef barbecue. Binghamton, New York has chicken speedies. That's the top left. Chicago has an Italian beef sandwich. Louisville has the hot brown, which is the one with the bacon on it. Memphis, Tennessee, listen to these guys. Fried peanut butter and banana sandwich, top right. New Orleans, muffaletta, which is unreal, by the way.
So good. So good.
Omaha, Nebraska comes in with a Reuben? Seriously? Like, most unexpected thing ever. Philadelphia would be what?
Oh, got to be the Philly cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak. Pittsburgh style has a Pittsburgh style sandwich. Trenton, New Jersey has the pork roll, egg and cheese. And there you have the breakfast and lunch menu for today.
I had never even heard of a pork roll until I moved to Easton. Easton was so close to the Jersey border, and it was like a thing that everybody knew about and everybody ate. And I was like, I'm clueless, guys. Like, I don't know what this is that you're talking about, but I want to give a shout out. Lori talks about La Spada's unbelievable sandwich spot in South Florida. Hayden Kassan talks about Permane Brothers, great sandwich place. But I actually did a food review of the sandwiches in South Florida during the pandemic last year. And the best sub in South Florida is still a pub sub to this day.
Yeah, I gained 30 pounds eating. Because you don't eat a pub sub by itself. You eat a pub sub with Cape Cod chips and a 6-pack of beer.
I love it.
So let's get this month started right. Let's get it with some really, really powerful motivational music. Give me Fits and the Tantrums.
Turn it up. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want the good life every good night, you're a hot one to hold. 'Cause you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want your sex and your affection when they're holding you close. 'Cause you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Every night when the stars come out, am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun comes out, and when we wake we'd be the only sound. Get on my knees and say your friend change round. But I can make your hands clap.
Love it. Make your hands clap.
If you don't know Fitz, take a deep dive into Apple and listen to some of their music. Yeah, Greg, it's great, great stuff. He is sort of an updated Motown kind of guy. That was his inspiration. And I've seen them in concert a couple of times. They were fantastic and great. So knowing that it's August, knowing that it's back to school month, I figured we'd go back to school this morning, spend the next 15 minutes talking. I'm sorry, 5 minutes talking about back to basics. And
I love it.
Did this B2B back to basics. I created this years ago and have updated it, but I figured, there's 10 or 12 things, mirroring all of the lists, the top 10 lists from all of the people that we put on for success. Number one is become the CEO of your own life. The decisions you make, what you do, when you go to sleep, what you eat. We talk about that all the time. Mark, I will ask you this one. Number two is the A word. And in a lot of my workshops, I start out by saying, what is the A word? What is the A word to you?
It's the most important word that leads to success. And the A word is accountability. And the measures that you put into your life that create accountability, whether you have accountability partners, whether you keep a schedule and your calendar is that accountability tool, whether you have accountability to people above you and around you, like that to me is how either you create accountability for yourself and you hold others accountable around you. That is the number one determining factor for success.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I happen to agree with you. If I said R&R to you, what would you think that would stand for?
R&R?
Yeah. So
Well,
this one will be a tough one because you probably haven't heard this in a while.
I do. I know what it is, though. The first thing that comes to my mind is always rest and relaxation.
That's what most
the summertime was for that. You had your week, get your rest and relaxation, come back now, walk through the doors, ready to go. And the R&R that I know that is the most important thing is recommendations and referrals.
Bang! Give me a bang there, please.
Pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good!
if there's a takeaway for today, and I've been focusing on this with a lot of people, that if you can't pump your own network for referrals and recommendations. Now, recommendations are not only about business. They're about character. They're about integrity. They're about how you show up, what you do. So whether you're doing business with someone or not, if they can give you a reference, like some of my clients, I don't have the opportunity to do business with them, but I can give them a recommendation because I know how they are. I see how they show up every week. And that's almost more important than the business side. So that one for sure.
Which give to get in there, right? Like that to me is, I don't ask for recommendations without sending recommendations. And LinkedIn makes it so easy for you to do that. But that is the key component. If you're going to ask, make sure you're willing to give. Same with referrals. I'm constantly connecting people so that, not to get paid on a referral fee, so that they know each other, they have the opportunity to work together or just learn from each other. And then I'm willing to ask to get something back.
So there's so many cool ones on here. We'll never get to all of them.
No.
I'll throw this one at you. What is it, DMO?
The daily marching orders. And I think this is really appropriate that we're talking about all this because it really ties in to the get on the ball training, right? Like we're continuing to update that and we're going to make the DMOs available to everybody for a free download. But I'm going to talk about it in relation to what I did this morning. We had one of our stations in the gym where we had 1,000-meter row and you had to do it as fast as you could. If you are not keeping score, there's no point in doing the activity. Maybe not to compare yourself to other people, but to set a benchmark for yourself of how much of this am I able to do in order to mark my progress and how well I do with it. Can I do more of it? Can I get better at it? So the DMOs are quantified behaviors that we know lead to success.
Love it, love it, love it. And this dialogue is so good because they're reminders. The best baseball players every spring go back to spring training, which is just running, hitting, bunting, all of the basic stuff. If you're not in touch with the basics, so I will close out today, because this is a ton of these, never get to all of them. Close out today with a program called 50 Cups of Coffee. Now, I started this way back in my business career where I would handwrite a list of 50 people that I wanted to have coffee with. Not 50 people that I wanted to sell to, 50 people that I would find interesting. By the way, Wayne Heisinger was one of those people that I reached out to him and said, listen, I really admire what you do, the people that you're building, everything about it. If you're willing to spend 15 minutes with me, I'd love to have a cup of coffee with you. Bang. He sent his assistant, called me and said, hey, Mr. Heisinger said, can you be here on such and such a date? So my first engagement, when I got up in front of a group, was with Bank United. I got up in front of 100 bankers, and I was scared shitless to share that program because it's brainless. It's so easy. I'm like, hey, man, all you got to do is write a list of 50 people and have coffee with them. And I would be like, Jerry Latrento would shout out me and go, what the hell is that? I paid you all this money for that. It's so simple. And now you can do it virtually. I used to write that list and continually add to it, not people I want to sell to, people I want to engage and bring into my network for all of the riches. So if you focus on one thing this month, write down a list of 50 people that you want to engage with, have virtual coffee with them, and watch the magic happen. Now, if you break 50 down by 4 weeks, it's basically 12 or 15 a week.
It's a no-brainer. In a virtual world where everybody wants to do it right here in this setting, it's an absolute no-brainer. And if you don't believe that tracking your conversations is the number one metric that leads to success, then you're working in the wrong business. So 50 cups of coffee. I love that club. That's exactly what you taught me to do to get started. And I'm excited to have some cups of coffee this week with everybody.
So I say it's time to jump into August, shake off the summer dog days.
Back to basics. Let's go.
Get to work.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. more night to get this. We've had a million